This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Again.
While I was out and about Squishmallow hunting, I ran into some big feet. I think that's the plural for Bigfoots. Specifically, Benny and his sister Zaylee, the Big Feet. I've customized quite a few Squishmallows already, and today I'm going to be making some more no-sew clothes that you can easily put on and take off without harming your precious Squishmallows. It's becoming like a sort of series. I'm getting quite serious about my Squishmallows. I'd even go so far as to consider myself a Squishmallow collector. Whoa. So I have Benny the Bigfoot and Zaylee the Bigfoot. They're called Bigfoots, but they actually have very tiny, very cute little feet. I don't know what their relation is. They look very similar, almost pretty much identical. They might be siblings, they might be boyfriend and girlfriend, not sure. I don't know. I don't think there's any official word out on that. So today I'm making it official. They're getting married. Benny has some sparkly stuff added into his hair. Not sure if he always has that or if it's just the one sold at Five Below that has that. First things first, I'm cutting off the tags. Just gotta get rid of those. The audacity. I'm starting off with Benny. He's gonna be the groom. The first thing I'm gonna need for this makeover is this. I noticed I keep leaving like fingerprints on Benny whenever I touch him, so that's interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm gonna be using this headband thing for Benny. It's not actually a headband. My fiance had cut off the bottom of her pants some time back. They were just running a little long. She wants you guys to know she's not short. The pants were just too long. So yeah, I saved these pieces in case I could use them someday. And today's that day. It has a bit of a stretch to it. It will fit nicely around Benny. I'm turning these into shorts. They're not going to be expertly tailored, obviously, since I don't know how to sew. I'm just going to pinch it together at the bottom and hold it together with a safety pin. Very basic no-sew stuff. I'm going to try to keep the seam in the back, and I'm just turning it inside out, so that way when I pin it, the safety pin won't be too noticeable on the outside. And basically, there's the shorts. Wow. I just got to turn them inside out again. I squished Benny into them. I think they look pretty good. They look like shorts. I'm just tucking in the raw edges to make them look more put together. Alright, cool. That's a start. They are a little loose in the back, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not like they're falling off or anything. I could have tightened them up with a safety pin or something, but I didn't feel like I needed to. I then pulled out my polka dotted ribbon. It might look familiar. I used the same ribbon to make Khaki the bald flamingo's bow. Today I'm going to be using it to give Benny a bow tie. I would have gone with a plain black ribbon to make the bow tie, but I already have this polka dotted ribbon on hand. Plus I think it looks funky, so I like it.
One eternity later.
So here's the bow for the bow tie. Now I just need something to hold it in place. I decided to use this tiny thin black headband thing of my fiance's. It's some sort of elastic thing. Perfect to snugly envelop Benny's egg-shaped body. I'm basically just safety pinning the bow onto the headband. He's starting to look all dressed up now, but of course he can't just waltz into his wedding wearing shorts and a bow tie. He's clearly missing something. So I pulled out some Mr. Super Clear. I figured this would really help pull the look together. Speaking of pulling stuff together, have you thought about pulling your life together by building a website? Squarespace is a website building platform. Squarespace has high quality templates. Squarespace is so easy, even Tootsie can build a website with it. Tootsie. Okay, I lied about that last one. Too bad, so sad. Squarespace has built-in security and analytics, so you don't have to ever worry about getting hacked. Plus it has strong e-commerce furniture? Features. To help you grow your business. You should try it out. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website, go to squarespace.com/graveyardloon to save 10% off your first website or domain. Thanks Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I'm not gonna spray Mr. Super Clear on him. I would never do that to Benny. I just want to use the cap of it. I want to give him a top hat to wear at his wedding. And this cap happens to fit perfectly over Benny's fuzzy ear. Perfect. I could have just painted on the cap and added a brim to the bottom for the hat, but why waste a perfectly good cap? So instead I'm using one of my poster boards to make the hat. I've already cut the poster board down to fit into frame. I'm just using the cap as a guide to make the top hat since I want it to be roughly the same size. I then grabbed this really cool Nightmare Before Christmas cup that my dad got me. Thanks, Dad. I usually keep my paintbrushes in it, but I threw those out. Not in the trash can, just to the side. I'm just tracing a bigger circle with it for the brim of the hat. That'll do. I also used my ruler to trace out what's gonna be the side of the top hat. Might not look like much right now, but it's all gonna come together in a second, and then it'll make more sense.
Sometimes you just gotta believe.
I then cut everything out with my fabric scissors, which, by the way, apparently you're not supposed to do. My cardboard slash fabric scissors.
It works perfectly on both.
It's halfway between fabric and cardboard, that's why. Fabric scissors are meant to only be used on fabric. Who knew? Not me. That's probably apparent by now. I should probably buy some new fabric scissors and do them justice. I'm just not going to. Maybe sometime in the future. We'll see. So yeah, basically I just hot glued this together, then hot glued that on top. Did a little trimming here and there, making sure everything looks nice. I'm now focusing on the brim of the hat, the bottom of it. I'm trying to cut out the center. I want the hat to be functional and fit snugly over his ear. I'll admit, I didn't do a perfect job. It's not a perfect circle by any means, but it does the job, and I respect that. It looks pretty rough, but honestly, I'm not even trying, since it's gonna be hidden anyways. It's good enough for me. I hot glued that in place and now I have a leprechaun hat. I think it suits Benny. He kinda looks like a leprechaun. But no one shows up to their wedding in a lime green top hat. Not even Benny. So I'm gonna make it black instead. I laid down some plastic to protect my well-manicured lawn. All 2 feet of it. I would probably get in trouble for spray painting the grass black. Hence why this is necessary. During that whole endeavor, the top hat came off. You can see I didn't spray paint the inside. I could've, but what's the point? It's all gonna be hidden. Out of sight, out of mind. Anyways, I hot glued the top back on. The edges around the hat are not looking too pretty. A lot of the green is still peeking through, so I decided to do some touch-ups with my Posca pen. Oh, this one's not been activated. Never mind. Okay, here we go. This'll do. It's not anything amazing, but better than going out and buying one. It serves its purpose for today. Plus it fits perfectly. I couldn't ask for more, really. What a dapper looking fellow. His bride, however, does not agree. She thinks a groom shouldn't come shirtless to his wedding. If that's how Benny's comfortable, just let him be, I say. But Zaley insists he must wear a shirt, so I'm getting rid of Benny's pants. He has a very tiny body, so he can either wear pants or a shirt, one or the other, can't have both. Unfortunately for the guests. This is another one of my fiance's pant leg cut-off scraps that I talked about earlier. I basically just go through all her stuff and use it for my artistic endeavors. I always ask, of course. It just fits so perfectly, so I decided to use another one. I tucked it in at the bottom to make the raw hem less visible. It's hard to make him a shirt because he doesn't have arms or shoulders or anything like that, but I'm gonna try and do my best to make him look like he's all dressed up. I grabbed some white sticky felt and cut out a triangle. I want Benny to be wearing a tuxedo. I figured this might make it look like he has a white shirt on inside his tux. I made it slightly too big for him though, so I'm trimming that down to size. I don't know if it's looking quite like a shirt yet though, so I picked out some buttons from my collection. It's a modest collection. They're all black and white. They lack variety. I think I just picked up a pack of them one day. Good thing I did, because Benny sure could use them. I also made him a little pocket. Most tuxedos have little pockets, I think. My tuxedo knowledge is limited, so bear with me. I thought the pocket is blending in a little too much. I mean, it's there, but it's black, so not sure how visible it will be from a distance. So I added a white handkerchief, the stuff you blow your nose into. That's what they carry around in tuxedo pockets, I'm pretty sure. So that's Benny for you, all dressed up with no pants on. It's a Bigfoot wedding, so they do things a little differently. Please try to understand. Anyways, here comes the bride. I've heard a lot about girl Bigfoots. Zaley's just the one I could get my hands on at Five Below, so she's the lucky girl that gets to marry Benny. Good for you. She's basically the rainbow confetti cake version of Benny. She's cool, just not as cool as Benny. This isn't just any wedding. It's a royal wedding. They're Bigfoot royalty. It's kind of a big deal, so that's why she's adorned with this cheap plastic dollar store tiara. I actually hate the way it looks. It looks very cheap, maybe because it is cheap, but you get what I'm trying to say. So I'm spray painting it black to tone down the cheap, bedazzled look, but also give it a sort of dark, gothic kind of vibe. I don't love the way it looks, but I think it's a huge improvement from what it was. Is that a weed? It can't be. So I'm going with a dark kind of theme with this. So she's not going to be a typical bride in a white dress. She's instead going to be an edgy, bad-to-the-bone Bigfoot bride. It's hard making costumes for Squishmallows because they have no limbs. You're lucky if they have arms or legs. A lot of them are just blobs. Anyways, I stole Carol the Spider-Butt's black tutu. I wasn't about to make a new one. I think Carol might be a few pounds wider than Zaley. The tutu was running a little loose. Not sure what happened there. And because it's so loose, it looks like she's wearing a crop top and a tutu instead of a poofy dress. I have my work cut out for me. Brides usually wear a veil, so I'm trying to make one for Zaley. The only thing is, I don't really know how to make a veil. I took a piece of mesh. It's the same material as the tutu. I cut out a small rectangle. I kinda just put it on her head and then tried to hold it in place with the crown. I mean, it works, right? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I guess I don't really even know what a veil looks like. I did try it again. I just wasn't gonna give up. This time around, things were looking more decent. I think this is how it's supposed to look. Even though Benny isn't wearing his pants, he definitely looks more put together of the two. Also, somehow Zaylee ended up being the more flashy one. This whole thing ended up being more risque than I intended.
Subscribe if you want to see more scandalous Squishmallow